what's next in that interface. So if we take quantum computing, topic number one, if we take, Internet of Behaviors, or if we take, XR and VR, or if we take, a nanotechnology, I mean, what's next? So define career path and something. I think there's a question over there, Kevin. Go ahead, if you will.
So Adeyemi says, how can you certify in something that is still emerging?
That's
I can,
a
yeah.
very good question, Yemi. And the thing is that specifically CET doesn't try to solve everything. It's not a magic one, but I think it's, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart, I think it's beautiful that even if it's still emerging, the fundamentals, the pillars, are still there. Again, even if quantum computing, you think it's just still emerging, because it is. Actually, I teach for hours on quantum computing. So does it mean that because it's still emerging, I needed the discipline to finish in order to start talking about it, in order to start to understanding, to embracing? I mean, it takes years of research, and then, researchers and teachers and public speakers, and we are embracing that. So Adeyemi, I appreciate your question, but I think that the beauty is that specifically and precisely, I would say, because it's still emerging, isn't it good that we start talking? When are we going to talk about nanotechnology? When it's already said and done? I think that we have to understand, and actually, as Kevin was asking me, we at ISACA and other people asking the right questions to the right people at the right time, raising our hands, saying, what about privacy in here? Hey, what about assurance in there? How are you going to audit that? And specifically, certifying on the knowledge, on the path, on an emerging technology. This is why it's called CET, Certified in Emerging Technology. That would be my answer, Adeyemi, but I appreciate your question. Back to you, Kevin.
Right. And to back off that, the building blocks, the fundamentals, right, they're going to stay the same while it just keeps getting more advanced. The next question I have from Vrinder, any books you would recommend?
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Brinder, for the question. But there are many. Good news is that, on quantum computing, there are many. Actually, and there are very good feeds on, white papers from vendors like the Googles of the world and the Amazons of the world. So there are very good free material, that you can. I'm not going to mention Twitter because you know how it is, but there are very good feeds on Twitter as well and others, right? But especially on quantum computing, I even recall there's a quantum computer for kids. I'm not joking. It's how you tell your kids about that other aspect of nature. And again, I'm talking about the laws of quantum mechanics and quantum physics. I mentioned on my answer to Kevin about superposition, remember? It's a beautiful thing to talk and to learn about. There's another thing called entanglement, that two different particles, two different atoms or photons of light, even separated, they are the same. So they are, this is like not time traveling, but space traveling. So there are many books. Unfortunately, I don't have the time, but if you want to reach to me, I will put my email, or you can follow me on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and on Facebook. But I would certainly recommend bring there some books. But there are many good ones. And of course, ISACA has very good white papers. By the way, I didn't tell you at the beginning because of the sound problem, but I'm a member of the ETAG, Emerging Technology Advisory Group for ISACA, which is a blessing. It's a pleasure. And we produce material. We produced a very good blockchain, book or white paper. We produce machine learning, how to audit machine learning. So very good material, not only within the walls of ISACA, that I have to say, of course, but also out there. But you can reach out for me, and then I will also recommend. Thank you for that. Back to you, Kevin. Thank you.
Yeah, and another plug. There's also a AI in Blue Team security white paper that just released this past week. So please check that out as well. Another question: what would be a comprehensive explanation for ET, emerging tech?
I'm not sure, Mugurel, I'm not sure if I understand the question, but emerging technology is that technology that is not finalized, that started as a consequence of some other discovery, like quantum computing in the early 90s, so 1920, with Einstein and it was Rodinger and other people. Blockchain as a consequence of, you want an anonymization, machine learning. There are 4 types of machine learning. So as a consequence of using algorithms for the greater good. So comprehensive explanation for emerging technology is that field of research / technology that starts and develops over time in order to expand and amplify our understanding of the world. So it's emerging because it's not mainstream. It's emerging because it's not finalized, as per the question before, but then it's ramping up. If as some analysts are doing, you have a slope like a curve, it's ramping up. It's not going down like, okay, all technology, it's already set and done. Quite on the contrary, it's just starting, probably not at the bottom, but it's ramping up. And I can say that for nanotechnology, I can say that for quantum technology. And again, I teach on quantum, and there are a couple of analysts that on their curve or the slope of excitement, they put it right in the middle as it going up. So that would be my answer, as a comprehensive explanation for emerging technology. Back to you, Kevin.
That's a great explanation. I think depending on time, I think we will have one more question, which is a great question. Which area do you think we will feel the most immediate impact from positive or negative in 2022?
Okay, thank you, Ash, for the question. Very, very, very good. I'm going to try to squeeze it because I can elaborate for hours on that. Actually, let me answer on 2 layers, Ash, and with your permission, Kevin. Of the four that we mentioned, certainly augmented reality or XR is already happening. Massive investments. Again, some vendors have already said that it's going to be the environment and the platform that is going to happen. So of the four that I just mentioned, certainly in 2022, that's your question, Ash. Not quantum, not in 2022. Not nanotechnology, not in 2022. And a combination of the Internet of Behavior and that metaverse, augmented reality, hybrid mixed reality, both of them together, I would say, because patterns of behavior and all those things will certainly have an impact on 2022 and beyond, but 2022 already. If it's positive or if it's negative, wow, again, I have a mixed sensation. Again, when you consider privacy, when you consider assurance and trust, and it's about user and entity behavior analytics, so it's about algorithms and collective psychology. We should talk more, Ash, in order to agree or disagree if it's positive or if it's negative. But it is happening in this future of now. For the four I've just mentioned, or Kevin asked me about, XR, augmented reality, hybrid reality, and a combination of everything related to human psychology, collective interactivity and interactions. I would say that. Back to you, Kevin.
Awesome. Well, unfortunately, we have to wrap up, but thank you all for joining us today. Again, if you're interested in emerging technologies, I encourage you to check out ISACA's Certified in Emerging Technologies credential that was launched earlier this year. Ramses, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me. And you know where to find me if you need anything. Thank you, ISACA, and all of the countries. It was a blessing. Bye-bye. Cheers.
Bye.